Hey friends, my name is Linda Dolke and I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up in Australia, and today we're playing with the Waves of the Ocean products. I just love them. We're going to be making this cute window card. I think you'll really like it. It's got a little bit of stamping on the inside. See there? Through the window you can see it, and I'll show you how easy this is to do. I'm also using these products this month to do a online class, so if you're interested in doing a class with these items, they're just stunning. I'm going to show them to you in the video, so let's get started. So today's card is this really cute window card. You'll have to pardon my bird who is chirping away because he can hear my voice, so I hope that doesn't bother anyone. This card is a window card, so when you open up you can see I've got the waves stamped inside the card, and that is showing through the window here. So it's actually quite easy to do, but we do need a few pieces, so let me just talk about what you're going to need. First of all, I have used the Waves of Inspiration stamp set. That's the beautiful wave and also the happy birthday here. I'm going to use a different sentiment today, but you can see there's some lovely sentiments on the front of this one. Okay, and then we also have an acetate piece here for the window. We're using some of the dies from the matching set. Here is the stamps and the dies. They're a bundle. Currently you can buy these as a whole grouping together with the papers, the foils and the rhinestones, but if you prefer not to get everything at once, my suggestion is to probably, if you love these three items down here, grab these first because these are only while stocks last, whereas these guys are going to be going into our new catalogue that comes out in May. So you've got a bit more time to get these, and these three are only available for a limited time. So let's show you. First of all, the paper is absolutely stunning. This is the paper I've used on the front of the card. You can see it has two beautiful sides. There is a video on my Facebook page about how these were made. Just gorgeous, and it shows the artwork being created and the lady who made them. There's 12 sheets in the pack. They're all sort of beautiful greens and blues, and there's a little bit of coral and yellow in there as well. So there's one of the yellow ones, and there's a bit of petal pink here in the corner. But you can see they're just stunning. Some of the most beautiful paper I think we've had. More coral, yellow, and the petal pink. And there's a coral and white side, that one there. And this one down the bottom here, this reminds me of a turtle. That's what it looks like. It looks like turtle skin here. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, all the colours in that. On the back we've got some Coastal Cabana and some Granny Apple Green. And there's a bit more of that one there. And yeah, just stunning. These are just beautiful. So if you love these papers, they're available for $20.20 right now here in Australia. There are also matching foils. Today I'm only using the navy blue, but the three colors in the foils are navy blue, Coastal Cabana and silver, and it's kind of like a silver sheen. It's not a shiny silver, whereas this is definitely shiny but just gorgeous. The last thing, these little items here are the the Waves rhinestone jewels. So these are all those beautiful blues and greens, just stunning. So really love these things, and I've used almost everything today on this card to show you how it's done. So let's pull this out. The first thing you're going to need to have is a piece of basic white cardstock. I get the thick cardstock for my card bases because I think it is a bit more sturdy and makes a better card base. So this is a basic card size. Here in Australia we use A4, so it's 21 centimeters by 14.8. In the US or Canada you're going to be using letter size cardstock, and that is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and then you fold that in half. So I'm just going to use a bone folder here to go over my edge to make sure it's nice and flat, so that way my card sits flat. All right, now what we are going to be doing here, I have got 3 circles here. Now these are the 3 largest plain circles from the layering circles dies, but you could use any nested shapes. Okay, so if you have 3 squares, or you have 3 rectangles, or any shapes that nest inside each other like these ones do, they're going to work really well for a window on your card. Okay, so of these 3 largest ones from the layering circles dies, I'm using the 3rd largest, so this is the smallest of these 3, and this one is going to be cutting my circle. Okay, so it's going to go right here on the front. Okay, and I'm going to be opening this up to put it through my die cutting machine, because obviously if I leave my card closed, I'm going to go through both layers and I don't want to do that. Okay, so it's down probably a little above, sort of between halfway and the top. I guess a third of the way down is about right, and you want to have the same amount of space here and here. And I'm just going to run that through my machine and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. You can see I'll just take that off and my circle will fall out. I can use that for something else, but I now have a circle in the middle, like a window in the top of my card. Okay, now I've also used, like I said, I was using 3. This one is the smallest. This one and the next size up is what I used. Put these through, you're going to put them through together, or you can do it separately. And I cut a piece of this gorgeous blue foil. I cut it and made a little shape here. Now this little frame is made by putting the 2 pieces through, the smaller one and the large and the next largest, to make that little frame that's going to go around our window. Pop that to one side for a second. Then we've got the largest one. Okay, so this is the biggest of all, and this is the one I used to cut the piece of acetate for my window. Okay, let me put something behind that so you can see the window better. Okay, I don't know if that helps. Anyway, this is the largest one, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to I'm going to open up my card. Okay, and I'm going to be positioning this behind here so that it's evenly around the window on the other side. And now I'm going to add some glue dots to the inside of this. The glue dots are quite neat. So let's pop one. You just put them quite close to the edge. 3, or in my case, I used 4 glue dots. I thought 4 was a good number. So maybe 2, 1 and 2 opposite each other. And then you'll put 1 in between that. So 1 now in between here. Find my next glue dot. Here they are. So 1 here. And so now I have a glue dot north, south and east and west, 1 on each. And it doesn't matter if they're not perfect, that's fine. We're going to position those glue dots so that it's evenly around the shape of my window, just like that. Now, if you wanted to cover those up with another frame or a slightly larger frame, you could cover that up and have it on the inside so you can't see this edge, but it doesn't particularly worry me, and I think the glue dots don't look bad either. Okay, so I'm going to, it almost looks like a porthole. So now we have this. So let's do the wave now. Okay, the wave is going to go here on the front. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to use that smaller circle, the same one that I used to cut the hole in the white cardstock. I'm going to use that smaller circle to cut out my waves. So you're going to position it kind of where you want it to be. You think, yeah, that's about right. And that's going to go straight over that. And then I'm actually going to run this through my machine and cut this so that the edge of the wave is curved to match my window. So let's bring this back in. This is sitting on the plate from the cut and emboss machine, and I'm going to take off these pieces, and you can see I now have kind of a circular shape. Oh, a circular shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to grab out some multi-purpose glue, or you could use fine tip glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit, get the glue to come out. There it comes. And I'm putting the tiniest little bits of glue on because I don't want it to get all over the acetate window, but I'm just adding a little bit here and there. Mostly it's important to have it on the bits that stick out because you don't want those to flap around. So some of the other pieces doesn't matter as much. Now, something else you can do if you wanted to is you could grab a sponge and we could just take off any excess. So it's still got the glue there, but it's not going to end up all over my acetate. Okay, so I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to pop it directly onto my window. So I'm letting that circle shape dictate where this goes. Okay. And because we haven't got a heap of glue on the other side, Right, so there we go. Now and it looks nice just like that, doesn't it? Don't you think that's very elegant? I think it's really pretty. All right, but what we're going to do now is we're going to add our window frame over the top. So let's, if you think that you don't have the paper or you don't want to use the paper, you can stop at any point. You can go much more simple than what I'm doing today if you want to, because I think it still looks great. So I'm just going to pop our window frame around our window, and because the small size window, small size inside edge of the frame is the same size as, whoop, let's put that back in place. Just might need to hold it down for a second while it dries a little. All right, so that's looking quite nice. All right, so now we have this. Now we're going to be cutting the piece of paper that goes at the back. You can see this piece that's here. And I've got a strip here. It's 2 inches wide and 6 inches long, which is half the width of the 12 by 12 paper. Okay, and you can see that is slightly longer than my card base. So that's fine. For this, we want to cut a circle. So hopefully you can see here. We want to cut a circle that is the middle of the 3 circles we're using. So remember, we have this one that we used to cut the window on the front of the card. This one's a little bigger and this one's a little bigger again. So I'm using the middle size, okay? This is the same size as the outside of this frame. So I'm going to grab this piece, I'm going to put it on here and see where I want it to go, and it's looking pretty nice. And this piece here is going to go right in that spot. So it shows me exactly where that needs to go. I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to run this through right in this spot through my machine. Let's bring these pieces in, move this out of the way. All right, so there's this piece here at the top, this piece here at the bottom, and then we're left with a circle in the middle, which could be used as a label on another piece, on another card, another project, which would look great. I'll have to come back and make sure I use that. All right, so pop our circle back over here, and now let's have a little look at what's on here. So this piece here is going to line up. I'm moving it up. I could butt it straight up against the frame if I wanted to, but I actually kind of like having a little gap there. So this one's got a gap at the top, and then this one's going to have a gap at the bottom. Okay, and it lines, it matches up with the frame that you've already got. So let's use you can use Tombow or Seal or whatever you would like, and we're going to add that. I love the layering circles dies. I actually always love nested dies. I just think they look so good. So easiest thing to do is I'm going to work out where the middle is here and pop this right here in the middle with a little gap between. I think that looks about right. And then this one here, actually still, good thing about Tombow is you've got a few seconds to move it because it's a liquid, so it takes a little bit to dry. So it's perfect for something like this where you're sort of working out where things need to go. And then this one needs to go at the bottom, a little bit of a gap again, about the same amount of gap as what we had before. And that's going to take it all the way to the bottom. Whoop, there's that liquid. All right. There we go. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to turn this over, and you'll see that I've got a little piece sticking over here. So I'm going to use my paper snip scissors and just cut that off in line with the card. The same at the bottom. I've got a little tiny overhang down here as well. And there we go. It's coming together. Can you see that? Right, looking really lovely. Then I've also got, on the outside here, you can see I've got a happy birthday. Now this is cut with one of the labels from the set. I've used a different one today. I decided I'd go with something a little bigger because I want to say something a little bigger, which is that you are totally awesome, which I thought was kind of cool from this same set. You're so totally awesome. There's also one that says your strength is an inspiration. It's a really beautiful set. Now you can use whatever colors you like. I'm going to try and bring out the greens because I feel like I've already got enough blues. So I'm going to use Bermuda Bay. You could also use Coastal Cabana, which is in the paper. Any of the colors in the paper would work well for your stamping. The other color that I think looks really good with this is Pacific Point, which is a very true blue, but it's a beautiful color. And that would also go nice because it's in the paper as well. So let's line this up on my grid paper so it helps me get things a little more straight. And sorry if you're looking at the back of my head right now. I'm sorry about that. Okay, it says you're so totally awesome. There it is there. And we're going to add a couple of dimensionals to the back of this. So let me add 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. We'll peel the backs off those. And I'm going to pop this just below my circle, below my window. There we go, looking nice. Okay, now while we've got this ink pad open, we also need to stamp the inside, because I don't know if you noticed, but we've got the wave in here as well. So I'm using the big wave from the Waves of Inspiration set, and I've already got that on a block. If you're putting this on a block, you're going to need our biggest block, which is block F. If you have a Stamparatus, you could also pop it on your Stamparatus platform. Now, easiest way to get ink on a big stamp like this is to turn it over so it's face up and then apply your ink to it, rather than trying to put the stamp onto the ink. It's much easier to put the ink onto the stamp. It's always the case with bigger stamps. Okay, much easier that way. Now let's open this up. Okay, now if you wanted to, if you're not sure where to stamp inside and you want to make sure you get it in the right place, you could grab a pencil, okay, and put a line right here. Like I can put a line here because I can see through the window, put a little dot there, and I know that's the center of where it's meant to be. Or if you wanted to, you know, you could put a line here at the side. You can always come back and rub that out later. It's not a problem. Right, so that is the center of my circle, which means I want my wave to be concentrated in that part. So I'm just going to pop this on here like so, looking very pretty. And now I can see my wave from my window. Doesn't that look good? Looks really nice. The very, very final thing, you might notice I've got a couple of little tiny blobs of something I don't want here. So we have these gorgeous Waves of Inspiration jewels, waves jewels, or Waves rhinestones. And we have, there's some Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana in here. There's some Granny Apple Green. If you pick that part of the paper, I mean, there's a little tiny bit of Granny Apple Green up there, but I'm not going to use that today. We've also got Pacific Point. We've got Night of Navy. We could pick any of these colors and they're all going to look good. So let me see, which ones will I pick? I think I'll go Bermuda Bay because I can. I'm going to have one of those down the bottom here. And I think maybe a smaller one up here where this little blob of something is that I don't want. And then maybe some little tiny weeny ones somewhere else. Maybe up here. There we go. That looks really pretty. So this is how you make a beautiful window card. Not hard to do. I think it's just a case of working out the steps. And if you've got any nested dies, in my case, I use the 3 biggest circles from the layering circles, but you could use any dies you might happen to have. And I think this is a really nice way of using this stamp set that's a little bit out of the ordinary. And people do love to receive a special card, and that's what I think this is. I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are. Don't forget, if you're around on a Friday evening, I go live every Friday night and also every Sunday night on my YouTube channel, and I'd love to have you join us. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.